to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar, episode 91. It's the day before Halloween.
That it is. Happy spoopy.
Yes. So we're themed out a bit for all y'all and celebrating the spooky season. Let's get into some intros. Hello, I am Carrie Lane.
And I'm Katie Cullen.
Yes, and this is my wig for the day of. I got I had a friend getting rid of some wigs, and so I got more over there.
Nice.
And then we will be talking about some Spy Kids. So we'll be talking about that. And then it's a Monday energy. I'm like, you said your name. Yes.
Yes, I did say my name. It's extremely big Monday energy. It's finally cool enough today for me to wear my cardigan that I got a month ago. So we're wearing that because it's cute. Happy spoopy. Yes.
Yes. I was like, I think you can. It's bunched up, but it's all skeletons on my scarf.
Nice.
We have a live chat going on. So if you're watching this live, join us in the live chat. And if you're watching later, no worries, comment down below. We got John Knight in the chat says, hello, ladies. Hello.
What's up?
And yes, we will be talking some anime news as well as, of course, Spy Family and other recommendations for things to watch and check out. So stick around for all of that. We also got Giga Derek in the chat says, howdy, howdy.
Hello.
Well, that one we'll talk about more later, but since Halloween's tomorrow, does anybody have a costume or a costume you already have worn? Leave a comment. Let us know what you dressed up as or not.
Okay, so then what's yours?
I'm going to be doing a fantasy character because I decided to do a small little Halloween party. And I'm like, I'm just going to do it the weekend after Halloween because I've been busy in October and then everything's on sale. So
Fair.
I'll acquire it. But I have this dress that I'm like, this screams a fantasy character. And then I acquired a wig that I'm like, yes. And then I still have pointy ears. So I'm like, I am set. And I have, surprisingly, out of all the costumes and things I've done over the years, I've never done just like a basic generic fantasy character like elf. So I was like, all right, this will be, I'm going for easy, comfortable, but still cool. And so I think this is going to achieve that. Yeah. What about you?
I had a dress on order and it hasn't arrived. So there is a little bit of lead time on that one that I was not anticipating.
Oh, that's
so
yeah.
My costume for the parties on Saturday was things I pulled out of my closet, and my costume for running around on Halloween night is also going to be things I pulled out of my closet. Slightly different flavor.
Nice.
The Saturday one was assassin flavored because when you have a cat skull mask, you use it.
Ooh.
And tomorrow's is probably going to be magic, magician, possibly Nekomimi flavored, depending on what I pull out of my closet and what I want to wear. I have all sorts of random costume pieces that I've amassed over the years, so sometimes you just have to roll with it.
It's a good excuse to let those creative juices go and get creative. Closet cosplay, y'all. It can be really fun, so.
I will also say, if you have a 99-cent store near you, they have so many masks. They have, for the most part, it's masquerade masks and generally a few others, like the cat skull mask that I mentioned. I also got a dragon skull mask, both of them from the 99-cent store, $1 a piece. Nice. I had to do a little bit of padding in some sharper areas that were pushing in because, again, it's 99-cent store plastic, but it wore very nicely for about a 6-hour night.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to wear it partially up here every time I went to eat something because the fangs hung down here. So it's like, all right, I can't eat anything with a mask on. But you never know what you're going to find at your local 99-cent store. Your dollar stores, your thrift stores, your highly recommend. Just if you get anything from a thrift store or if you get any clothing from any store, always wash it before you wear it. Just do that. Just do that.
Looking over the chat, Giga Derek says, I'll be Miles G. Morales tomorrow, opposite my friends Peter Parker.
Fun.
Spider-Verse. All right, get it. Not Halloween related, but we have a shout out over Lewis Cox in the chat says, hey everyone, I've been playing Spider-Man 2 and I love it. Great Spider-Man game. Sweet.
I watched Jacksepticeye's playthrough of it, so I've got the whole story, but the playthrough in my house is about 2 hours in. So, it's a wild one. They've made some very intriguing villains that you love to hate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got my at-home boba. So if anybody's like, "What are you chewing?" This is what.
See, I just get stuff from Boba Time, and I'm like, you can't see me chewing things. This is not it. This is water in a spoopy cup. Happy spoopy. I've said that like
Yay.
3 times. I stand
But
behind it every time.
Absolutely. We'll talk more about. We got some other. We'll talk more spoopy stuff later.
Big Monday energy.
Yes, but that's
The
what we're here for.
biggest.
We are unfiltered for all y'all.
Ooh.
So things we are excited about.
Yeah.
Let's get into our news. So first up, just the other day, so in case you missed it when it did its first run, Suzume is back in theaters for a very limited time. So check your local listings, and for more information on your theater and when it's playing, check out suzume-movie.com. So that's Suzume movie with a dash in the middle there. .com. So in case you want to catch it in theaters and you missed it the first time around, or you want to come back and see it again and bring your friends, check it out. I'm not seeing a date of when it's done, but that kind of makes it exciting of a limited time. So check your local listings and check it out.
Oh, for those not familiar or who didn't get to see it the first time around, it is a Makoto Shinkai number, so you will cry in public, but it's good stuff.
It's a very good one.
Yeah.
Throwback to here on this channel, make sure to check out the voice actor playlist, as well as other playlists. We went to the premiere of that, the blue carpet, and we got to talk with the cast of that, so check that out. And I meant to show this as well. Go follow us over on Twitter, NTATMB, because we also post other content on there, as well as pictures and things.
For as long as that platform exists, we'll be doing the thing.
John points out, yep, don't forget you did interview the casting staff. Yes, we did. So check that out here on the Fanversation channel. And while you're there, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe.
Yeah.
Let's get back into things we are excited about.
From one feature to another, we have GKIDS acquires North American rights to Mars Express, which is the acclaimed sci-fi debut feature from Jeremy Perrin and a 2023 Cannes and Annecy official selection. This, just looking at the poster for this, the animation style for this looks absolutely fantastic. It's hitting me like part Ghost in the Shell and part Atlantis the Lost Empire, just in terms of style.
Heck yeah.
And it looks like a lot of fun. GKIDS will release Mars Express theatrically in its original French language and a new English dub in 2024, following a domestic release in France this November. So keep an eye out for that. And the synopsis sounds amazing. In 2200, private detective Aline Ruby and her android partner Carlos Rivera are hired by a wealthy businessman to track down a notorious hacker. On Mars, they descend deep into the underbelly of the planet's capital city, where they uncover a darker story of brain farms, corruption, and a missing girl who holds a secret about robots that threatens to change the face of the universe. I'm here. Give me the hard sci-fi. Let's go. So follow GKIDS social media, keep an eye on their site, and that will be releasing in theaters in 2024. So keep an eye out.
Which we're almost there.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's a level of psychic damage I'm still not prepared for.
Oh gosh. Yep. All right.
NaNoWriMo starts in 2 days.
Well, something a little more on the fun side of things, for all you Jujutsu Kaisen fans and Marshmallow fans, and if you're like, Marshmallow what? Don't worry, we'll get to that. So today, Crunchyroll has announced a launch of a clothing collaboration between EDM artist Marshmallow, who actually, I'm like, was that on here? I will link it, because I was like, wait, I talked to them at, different
some point.
It was I'm like, yes, I think so. I feel it was one other interview thing it was a My Hero Academia event, I feel. But anyway, so EDM artist Marshmallow and Jujutsu Kaisen paired up. So it's a 15-piece clothing collection. It's going to be hoodies, shirts, as well as various other accessories and merchandise. And you can go check out the collection over on, where'd it go? Yep. marshmallowmusic.com. So these,
and that's MELLO, yes?
Yes,
if I'm remembering correctly.
I had the wrong person in my brain, but I did see Marshmallow at Sundance, and so that was awesome. Yes, Mello, Mello. And so music as music. But yeah, these hoodies look really cool, and some really nice shirts and different kind of merch. So, if you're looking for that, and there's some cute stickers or chibi stickers as well. So yeah, go check that out. And
then we're going to post pictures of those on the Twitter. Yeah. So keep an
Yeah.
eye out over there if you want some visuals.
And then looking over in the chat, John Knight says, speaking of Jujutsu Kaisen, I watched a new dub episode and David Vincent did a great job as Nanami. Yes, this show is really great. And speaking of that, we talked to the voice acting cast of that as well. So here on this channel. So, we cover all your voice acting needs, and you are eating well on this channel for that. So yes.
We do a lot of conversations. We have a good time. They are absolutely lovely people to talk with.
Indeed. All right. And there you go.
Yes.
You got the next news.
Yes. Moving on to the manga side. Tokyo Pop and Noir Caesar launched the gritty crime and redemption graphic novel series entitled Try Again, an original manga-inspired gritty crime and redemption saga that will launch on November 14th. So keep an eye out for that. As for the synopsis, as a member of the Cacciatore Guild, Danielle Burrows is one of the criminal underworld's most renowned hitmen. Despite her success, memories from her past bleed into her present and force her to reconsider the life she now leads. Events are set in motion once she kills Emilio Francesca, her caretaker, but also accidentally kills his daughter, Lilio, in the process. Oops. She realizes that she's had enough of this life, one now truly without meaning. Leaving it all behind, she soon realizes that even death is no escape from her past. So, gritty crime thriller stuff. Definitely keep an eye out for this. Follow Tokyo Pop and Noir Caesar on their social media, and keep an eye out at publishers and bookstores on November 14th. You are muted.
Thank you. It's why I don't want those noises I'm eating.
It happened.
It does.
It happened.
All right. So the other news, we got Ablaze is bringing Masaki's Ninomiya's modern day horror masterpiece, Gunnibal manga series to Kickstarter. So the highly anticipated English language debut of an international best-selling series that inspired the popular Disney Hulu live action heads to Kickstarter just in time for Halloween. So comics and graphic novel publisher Blaze is bringing that horror manga, Cannonball. I'm guessing that's how you say it because it looks like Cannonball with a G. To Kickstarter.
Yeah.
It is a best-selling 13-volume horror manga series and worldwide hit around the world. Worldwide hit. Excuse me. Just regular worldwide hit. And they are there's a highly anticipated English language debut, which has a special hardcover. And you can support the project at, making sure I got it. Yep. If you look to projects.com or Kickstarter.com, projects, and if you look up Ablaze Pub, so that's EBLAZE PUB, publisher, you can check that out and see some pictures and see. They met their goal. Their goal was 9,500, and they're at 63,000.
Dang.
Yes, 323 backers, but you can still back it, and maybe there's some, cool bonus. Yeah, check that out. So that's over with Ablaze.
Yes. Yeah, there's usually fun stuff in Kickstarters for backers. So yeah, if that's something that intrigues you, definitely take a look. See if it's something you'd like to throw some money behind. Speaking of Ablaze, we have their January 2024 slate. So let's take a look. We have the trade paperback edition of The Mighty Barbarians. We have Shepherdess Warriors Volume 2 and Witch of Mine Volume 3. We have the Kalevala, a stunning graphic novel adaptation by Sami Makala, and I'm losing my mind, of the Finnish epic that inspired J.R.R. Tolkien to write Lord of the Rings. So that sounds fun. And we also have Volume 3 of Centaurs and Volume 3 of Wakfu. So those are coming down the line. Keep an eye out for those in January 2024. And keep an eye on our Twitter if you would like to see that beautiful, beautiful cover art.
Yes. And then we're going to find my banners. The other exciting thing that we would hope a lot of you are here for is Spy Family.
Yes.
Yes. So there were some kitties in this episode, thus I wore my kitty cat. This this was adorable and playful, and I do love
Kind of a weird cliffhanger.
yeah, there's some things in it that were like, okay, we're super lighthearted, and then this, and then like gear shift. But I want to say one of the highlights was just seeing Second Son get all a flush, seeing Anya like sad face.
This
Like,
show really
oh.
likes to flex. Its comedy muscles are amazing. Its drama muscles are also great. The show has it all. But it really does like to flex when it comes to these kids and facial expression, because we've already seen that like Second Son sees Anya differently. Like we've done comparisons of here's the scene, here's how he sees it, and he always sees like her eyes are bigger and her features are softer, and it's just like, oh. So Anya has no idea she's got this power over him despite being a mind reader.
Yes.
So just watching all of these shenanigans go down, can I just say poor Victor? This poor boy. He exists to be bullied.
Yeah. Though he did a good, like, okay, fine, we will diplomatic approach. We will share it. You guys figure out the 4. I still get my 1.
Yes.
It's like, that's fair. That's fair. But yes, this poor kid is like constantly harassed.
Oh, yeah.
I do love the child logic and Becky's acknowledgement of, even if it's not real, the having superstition, it might be a good thing too.
Yeah.
I want some superfood that will make me smart if I eat it, but you know.
But also just having pastry made by a former royal patissiere. Sitting here like, I would like those macarons. What flavor are those? They look like they might be raspberry.
Yeah.
Like, I am a sucker for a good baked good. I really am. It's a problem whenever I go into 85 degrees. So all of them going like, and it makes you smarter, and it's really rare, and it's high class. Let's go. Like, yeah, no, I fair. Not necessarily here for like the Black Friday rush that they were doing, but and the do not run in the halls.
Yeah, that was so cute. They're like, kids, disclaimer, please don't run in the school hallway.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I want to know how Anya knows some ancient languages.
I think what that was, they're like ancient language and people don't usually speak this anymore. They're teaching Latin. Like that is what that struck me as. And it's a good thing to know Latin because it helps you understand, like if you speak a Latin-based language, then it really helps you figure out, okay, this is why the grammar works this way. This is why this is a thing. Like Latin is still very much a language that's taught, even though people don't actively speak it anymore.
Right.
So to me, that struck me as, oh, they're teaching Latin classes.
He's so surprised though that like she's doing, that she comprehended it so well. She mainly just had spelling issues.
I mean, we did get earlier that she passes her quizzes mind reading the smart kids.
This is true. This is true. Though she has learned sometimes they don't know anything, and then she's been like, well,
that's true too.
Let's acknowledge and appreciate the like when something doesn't go well, and she's just like, I just have to go lie down for a little bit. I feel that when you're like nothing is going right, and you're like, I just need to like do nothing, let it out, and then you eat some yummy food, and damn it, you feel better.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Sometimes it's just like,
food.
All right, well, things suck. I'm gonna go get a little treat and just not look at anyone for a while. This is me at work occasionally going, no, I need to go get boba to survive the rest of this day. I'll be back in 20 minutes.
Yeah. That's a reminder. Drink your water. Take breaks when you need them. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed. It's okay to pause, recollect yourself, and get back in it. Because, it's the, she's not wallowing in despair for a while. It's the, I'm just going to exhale, which I thought was so cute.
And if you've got, and here's a trick I learned from a blog called, and I miss this blog every day, Unfuck Your Habitat. One of
Mm.
my favorites is that if you have a large project or a large thing that you are working on, instead of trying to sit down and mainline the whole thing, clean your entire room, write your entire thesis, whatever, you break it down into individual tasks, clean off your bed, clean off the side table, vacuum the floor, etc. And also, you break down your time. So what the blog recommended was 2015s, so or 2010s
Hmm.
rather, 20 minutes working, 10-minute break. 20 minutes
Okay.
working, 10-minute break. They also recommended if it works a little better, like 40/20s and 60/30s,
Hmm.
like whatever chunk of time works best for you, but it schedules in that, okay, we're going to go decompress. We're going to go pet the
Mhm.
cat or the dog or whatever petable thing you have that brings you
Yeah.
joy and get some water and like things to build into your routine so that you don't wind up marathoning it and then fried and never wanting to clean, write, whatever again.
Yes.
Uh, yes. So
There's
that
a
also works for study skills
yeah,
for those who are continuing their education.
I like that. That's a good way to break
Yeah.
it up if you want shorter ones. There's a writer that I was following her on Twitter, and she did writing sprints where it was
Mhm.
like for 1 hour you did something. But I like it, whatever time limit you need to set a timer so your brain knows
Yeah.
when this time is up, an alarm will go off. So just do whatever task you got to do. You'll get the break when it comes. And I was like,
Yep.
yeah, that's a good way to do it as well. But that's smart too. You got to figure out what rhythm you need. And yes, break it
Yes.
into smaller chunks because absolutely,
Yes.
it's like do everything. You're like, fuck.
Like, no, don't do that. Do
Small
not.
chunks.
Marathoning is bad for you.
Yes.
As someone who is a chronic marathoner, when the cleaning switch gets flipped in the brain, marathoning is bad for you.
Yes. I feel that. Okay. We got Giga Derek says, I remember learning Latin. Great for insults. LOL. Nice.
When I worked at the high school, one of my best friends was the Latin teacher.
Uh,
So it's like, yeah, no, that's on the brain.
We get new username that I don't think I've noticed before. We got corporate
Uche?
Sorry for saying it wrong. They dropped a new trailer for the next arc. Woo!
I see your Freerun icon. How's the show? You gotta tell me. I haven't watched it yet.
I was like, yes, I see that username picture. We were talking about that
Yeah,
on a
yeah.
previous episode. Yeah.
It's on my list. It's on my list. I just haven't watched it. I have a long list. It's so big.
I feel that.
Oh yeah.
So, speaking of the kitty cats, the other big arc in that story, you know what? Gotta hand it to Frankie of that is a smart technique. You dig somebody, you want to make them happy because one, you like them, and then like you're being a good person, and finding a missing animal, huge win no matter what. And it didn't go the way he planned, but he took it in stride. But
he's been going there that long, and knowing Frankie, he's been watching her all the time he's been there, and he didn't pick up exactly.
Yeah.
Unless this is a recent development, but this doesn't sound like a recent development with the whole you keep leaving the door open bit. Yeah. Like they're living together. So and
or
matching
his
rings
rose-colored glasses, he's just
man.
not seeing it, maybe.
No respect for I have no respect for Frankie, let's be real. The narrative doesn't either. That's the narrative's prerogative. I have no respect for this man, and his cat wrangling leaves something to be desired. It's hilarious, but also, bro, let's release the scent of catnip. Okay, for one, how did you not see the cat stampede coming? Two, cat stampede, favorite scene, let's go. And three, not every cat is into catnip. Mm-hmm. Like, there is a solid percentage of cats that are just unaffected and do not care. I should know. I have one of them.
I like how they have a blush going on.
Yeah. Oh, they're high.
Yes, that one is cute. Looking over the chat real quick, too. Corporate Uche says, Farron is great, by the way. Classic fantasy, very token-esque. Noise.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting us know. Yes, and you're being your...
I'm gonna help.
Yes, and that poor cat was
very sweet.
And you know what? Based on the time period and based on her outfit, that girl probably has pantyhose on, and mad props for not ripping her tights and keeping her outfit prim and proper because she goes back to work after nothing amiss. Mm-hmm. And I like her. Helping people makes me feel good, which is, this is true, but it was adorable watching her go, yay.
And then just getting hazed by her
Yeah.
coworkers.
Yeah.
Just the ones like getting all jealous about, oh, you can talk about relationships. Oh, your husband. It's like, girl, you got a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Just,
I appreciate yours, naivete that's really adorable in social situations, because they're essentially making fun of her, but she's like, I'm normal.
she needs better friends.
Yes.
Well, and I know it's like
proximity coworkers. Yeah.
But I know it's coworkers, you can't get away from them, but damn, girl needs friends.
Yeah. Because at least, Anya has Becky. Lloyd, Frankie doesn't count.
Lloyd also has work friends, let's be real. But true. His work friends are... It's like, one thing if you're working in an office building and you're like, I'm just going to keep my head down, do my job. Who cares? His work friends are all very close-knit in the we have to get this job done sort of way. So there's less just being a jerk for no good reason about it all. Mm-hmm. And like, he obviously trusts Frankie.
Yeah. But he doesn't put up with any of that because I like how he walks away. He's like, okay, cool, thanks, bye.
Just like, look, I did the whole dating rigmarole for you already, and it didn't work out. Mm-hmm. So, like, get on my level, or at least get on a slightly higher level than the one that you're on. I realize my level is pretty high up there.
Yes.
And, put the work in. Put the work in. It's great that you found her cat.
Frankie wants the shortcuts.
Yeah. Frankie wants the shortcuts, and that's the problem.
Yes. Like, he wants the cliff notes, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, no, you can't. That's not how it works. Okay, fine. Makes for good comedy, but do not emulate this man.
Was there anything else in the episode that stood out to you? I was like, we got the Yor plotline, which is, we also got Yor has a new assignment. Yep. That kind of cliffhanger of, all right, who you got to get. And
then the trailer was something like the
looks like a cruise ship.
Yeah, and something about like leaving the country or crossing the border or something like.
It's just like, okay. So we'll see what that means next.
It'll be interesting.
Yep.
I think we're getting into more of the stuff you like, more of the contiguous plot stuff.
Yes. I mean, the one-offs can be fun and they can be amusing, but this world has built such a great story, and I feel like we haven't moved very far lately. So yes, I'm excited to see a little bit more, and then I want them to hurry up and work together more. Even though they know there's no way they can really do that well. Then they have to figure out each other, but it's entertaining when they unintentionally end up working together and like complementing each other's skills without knowing that's what they're doing. That's also what's very entertaining.
Yeah. Like, that is a very fun part of it. Yes. Just, the second that any of their covers are blown, like, the jig is up. That's it.
Yes. So, let us know your thoughts on the different things that popped up in this episode. What are you enjoying, and what parts made you laugh the most? And this is a good playful one. I don't feel I had anything else that stood out to me, unless there's anything else we didn't get to that you're like,
not particularly. No.
Wasn't just super deep
being
one.
Great at Old Maid, and then being really bad at Old Maid, and it's like, girl, moderate. Just in the middle there, just the lack of poker face.
Oh my gosh!
They really flexed.
That. Yes,
they really flexed on the animation for the expressions in that story. So good.
It's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good point. She's like, "Oh my gosh, is he a mind reader?" Sweetie,
it's honey.
He doesn't need to read minds.
Sugar.
You have a billboard.
Yep.
No, it's adorable. We love it. We love her for it.
We do.
Alrighty. So that's it for Spy Family coverage. And like I've said, let us know your thoughts down below. So now let's tell you about some other stuff you should be checking out. And these can be movies, books, games, all the above. And if you're consuming any kind of media that you recommend, let us know in the comments or in the live chat. I know I started a little bit late, but I'm glad to be catching up on the newest Loki. That is definitely a fun series. If you have not checked it out at all yet, that's actually kind of I would say unique Marvel show in the sense of you don't need to know a lot about, you don't have to have seen every Marvel movie or every Marvel show to enjoy Loki. Like I had a friend who had not seen a single Marvel movie and she loved the show. So it's kind of interesting that it's a little bit kind of wrapped up in itself of like, yes, you, of course, there's other things, but you won't be lost. But yeah, that one's so far really fun. I think I have one more and I'll be up to date.
I'm also one behind.
Yeah.
So I feel you.
But so far I'm loving it. And I like, different places they go and everything. Very entertaining.
Yeah.
And actually that'd be pseudo one of my recommendations, which it's on the trailer, but it was on the last one, which spoiler, but not spoiler. There's the Chicago World's Fair. And there's a really cool book called Devil in the White City, which I like is like kind of mentioned. So if you want a good spooky book, Devil in the White City is a really good read. I do recommend that stick through the beginning because the beginning is really literally and almost figuratively laying out the groundwork because they're talking about the architecture. They're talking about the space that like where they built the Chicago World's Fair and everything. So it's a little bit slower. And I mention this because the book is primarily about H.H. Holmes, so America's first serial killer. And that's where you're like, ooh, that's what everybody's getting there for. So the beginning is a little slow before we get to that. And it's historical fiction because they obviously don't know everything that happened, but it's very entertaining, good kind of creepy read. And if you like historical fiction, Devil in the White City is an excellent one. I got it at my library, which again, check out your libraries. We talk about that a lot here. And that's a really cool read. And I will think about a movie recommendation. Well, you talk about something that you've consumed.
Yes. So we saw the Five Nights at Freddy's movie last week.
I want to know your thoughts. I was so waiting for it. I'm like, what did she think?
So our take on it walking away was I have notes.
Okay.
There's always something a little weird about when you have an adaptation, the person who did the original property having writing rights, having scripting rights, having production rights for the adaptation. That's where things can get a little weird. Scott Cawthon, God bless him, made an extremely successful video game franchise. The lore for the first game can fit on a postage stamp. And actually does fit in, like, you get the story of the first game from posters that occasionally appear as glitches on the walls in the camera feed. There's not really a story there. It's just, don't die. So the fact that Scott Cawthon is a little precious about his lore. He is, there's a lot of it. It's very sprawling. It has spread into books, which are now required reading to understand what the hell is going on. And I have critiques as a writer, just in terms of, yes, it's very difficult to go back and backfill lore into something that didn't have it and to make it fit going forwards. But also, what the hell are you doing? So there's just this, it's like he keeps every idea he has. So it's extremely convoluted. And so him writing the script and being this involved in the film adaptation means that it's a 2-hour movie. And if you're a fan of the franchise, you get all sorts of fun stuff. You get YouTuber cameos, you get references, you get to see some of the scenes that you really wanted to see, like live action on the big screen. And oh my God, the animatronics look amazing. The Jim Henson Company did those. There's no CGI there. They are fully puppeteered. They look phenomenal. They're so good. And evidently they would occasionally move on their own while on set. So, yes. The script is messy. We could have cut a few things and it would have been fine. We definitely should have rewritten a few other things and it would have been even better. This is a movie very much made for the fans. And given that it had Blumhouse's biggest opening weekend on record and made back its budget in at least triplicate, I think it was made with 25 million and I think it was 20. It was either made with 25 million and made 135 million, or it was made on 35 million and made 125. Regardless, it definitely made back its budget several times over. odds are we're going to get a sequel. We definitely had a few sequel hooks in there, as you do anytime you deal with William Afton. That man, very well played, by the way. A lot of fun with that. So, acting's good, script is messy, effects are phenomenal, and the kills that we do get, because despite the fact that it's not actually that scary, this is a horror movie, we get a few real solid kills in there. Like, it's fun. And it was also built to be PG-13. So if you really want to splatterfest, this is not the movie for you. Basically, if you're a FNAF fan, you're probably going to have a good time. And if you're not a FNAF fan, this is not the way to get in the franchise. So it's
Okay.
aight.
Now, what if you know nothing about the franchise? Do you think people will be really lost, or they just won't appreciate all that's there?
It's a straightforward enough story.
Okay.
It's just not a great one.
Gotcha.
You know? Like, it's haunted animatronics in a rundown pizzeria, and it is very difficult to recreate the feeling of playing a video game in a movie, because a lot of the horror of the FNAF games is that it's first person point of view and you are stuck in this security room. Things that are trying to kill you are out there, and all you can do is keep track of where they are and close the doors when they get too close and pray that you don't run out of power, because if you run out of power, you die. It's resource management. It is an incredible atmosphere, and so much of it, what makes it scary, is that it's on you. It's your decisions. What are you noticing? Are you checking the cameras? Did you close the door? Are you monitoring the power? You can't really do that in a movie when it's a passive experience for the viewer. So you have to know how to craft a scary story. Otherwise, that didn't translate here. I think there was a little too much adherence to what the video games have to offer that didn't work as well in a movie format. So for the sequel, I hope that someone else writes the script. I'm sure that Scott Cawthon will continue to be involved in the franchise, as he should be, but I really want someone who has more experience with, and I know there was a co-writer on this, but I don't know how much say they had versus Cawthon's say in things. So I just need this to be more of a movie and less of a, here's the video game, but on the big screen. That's my take on it. It was fun. Like, again, if you're a FNAF fan, you'll probably have a good time. If you're not a FNAF fan and you are of legal age to maybe be a little altered, you might enjoy it then. And if you're going to do that, it's streaming on Peacock. If you've got a Peacock subscription, you can already watch it for free. Stay at home, don't drive. We do things safely up in here. So it was fun. It was aight. It had some really great cameos. The cameos were fantastic. It had some funny lines. Like, it was fun. And again, watching the animatronics go and knowing that it was entirely practical effects. Holy cow. So that in and of itself, if you are a big like puppetry and practical effects person, you'll enjoy that. The other thing I consumed over the past week, as we mentioned a little earlier, was Spider-Man 2, the new game by Insomniac released on the PS5. We don't have a PS5 in this household, so we borrowed one. But I did watch, if you're looking for a good playthrough and you don't mind commentary, Jacksepticeye does an incredible playthrough on YouTube. And if you're like, well, this is the second game, I haven't done he did the first game, he did the Miles Morales DLC, and he's done this second game now. And he has a lot of respect for the source material and is a fairly solid game player. So, it's about 20 hours, give or take, of his playthrough. The stories told in these games are pretty damn great. Honestly, they are excellent Spider-Man stories. They are funny in ways Spider-Man stories should be. They are tragic in ways Spider-Man stories should be. And honestly, I'm going to go full meme here. The villain in this latest game, we knew that we were getting Venom. We know that we're getting Venom voiced by Tony Todd. And hearing Venom voiced by Tony Todd activated parts of my brain that I did not realize existed. It's amazing. But we know our main villain here is Kraven the Hunter, and to quote a meme, fuck Kraven, all my homies hate Kraven. He's a very excellently done villain, and I ended this story going, oh, I hate that guy. Which is how you know it's done well, when you can sit there and go, yes, I understand, like, the story was very well told. Fuck that character in particular. Like, very, very effectively done. So good. So if you're like me and you don't have a PS5 or you don't have the budget or the time or the patience, you can find a good playthrough. Jacksepticeye is my recommendation.
All right. Looking over in the chat, we got Giga Derek says another new episode of Hell of a Boss came out. Amazing as always.
Have not watched it yet. It's
Have
been
not
a
as well.
wild weekend.
I'm
Also,
very
we'll be
familiar
down
with
in
one.
Anime Pasadena this coming weekend if anyone is going to be down there.
All right.
Yep.
John Knight says, I watched Tokyo Ghoul OVA prequel dub on Crunchyroll. Sweet. I would say another recommendation that I'm like, well, now that you made me think of Tokyo Ghoul, thank you for that recommendation. If you have not watched yet, the Tokyo Ghoul live action movie is really good. Japanese one. I don't think there's an American one, but Japanese live action anime, like come to life, is so good. You could jump into that without having watched the anime. You'll probably appreciate some things more, but it's okay. It's like, because it's the beginning. It starts like at the beginning of where that story is. And if you want like something on the spooky side, effects are really great. And it's just one of those, so well done anime to real life. I would say that's a good one to check out. Gig Derek says, isn't Kraven getting his own movie? I'm like, I thought there was something. And then I feel that's kind of like fizzled. I don't know the status. I remember I saw a trailer, but I'm like, oh,
who knows what the MCU looks like at this point in time.
Yes, good choice. John Knight says I have Tokyo Ghoul live action Blu-ray with English dub. Yes, it's a very cool movie. Also, I think there's some parts where like the main character, I want to remember, like, he gets all upset at some point, and I felt like either it's the live action or the anime. Just like I felt in the live action, we moved along faster with his whining. So it's like, okay, move along. I get it. I get you're upset, but moving on.
Like, okay, can we just?
Yes.
I do want to do a spooky recommendation that's like actual recommendation and not lukewarm. There's a horror author named Grady Hendrix. He does all sorts of really great stuff across multiple different genres. He did My Best Friend's Exorcism. He did A Southern Lady's Guide to Killing Vampires. He did, I can't remember, I think it's called Horror Store, is his take on Haunted IKEA. The one that I'm recommending, because it's the one that I've read, is called Final Girl Survivor Group. And it is about you're pointing like you've done it. Have you done the thing?
No, I haven't, but I feel like you've told me about this one. But
probably, yes.
Tell us more.
Like, if you are into slasher movies, your Nightmare on Elm Streets, your Friday the 13th, your Halloweens, your Screams, etc., you know that there's the idea of the final girl, the one character that is always going to make it to the end in some capacity. Whether they actually survive the movie or not is kind of a coin toss. But they're the last person. There's a chase where they run across the corpses of everyone else in the movie. There's a showdown with the killer. They may or may not win, all that fun stuff. Final girl. So the premise of this novel is that all of the women in this group have survived some level of slasher movie. And none of them are, because they can't just be like, yes, I survived to Jason Voorhees. I survived Camp Crystal Lake. But if you know your slashers, you can pick out, okay, this is based on this. This one's based on this. Okay, gotcha. And then they're fairly explicit about it because every single story had a movie made about it. And they're pretty solid with and this one was based on this. I was not expecting the protagonist to be from the movie that she's from. That one took me by surprise in the best way, honestly. And the premise is that this group of women who have all survived their individual horror stories coming together as a therapy group talk about like what happened to them, how do they deal with everyday life having experienced this. The story kicks off when one of them gets murdered and our protagonist starts going, someone's coming after the group. Someone is after us. And it goes from there. And it's partially a study in paranoia and partially a fun unfolding mystery and partially an examination of the slasher genre and how horror treats its protagonist, treats its final girls. Like, it definitely had some very interesting things to say. It had, as any good slasher does, it had a twist, and it had a twist that I very much appreciated. Like, I liked what it was doing. I liked the way it executed that. And yeah, again, I did not call the movie that our protagonist was from, and it was a pleasant surprise when I finally put the context clues together and went, "Oh, that one! Oh, that's a slightly deeper cut than your Nightmare on Elm Streets and your Camp Crystal Lakes and your."
Hmm.
So yeah, you do need to have an appreciation for slashers. If you don't like slashers, you probably won't like this book because that's what it's about. But very well written. Highly recommend. Love this. So, Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix.
All right. Well, we've given you all many recommendations, which we love sharing our recommendations with all of you. So let us know, have you heard of some of these, or what are your recommendations? Let us know down in the comments. And let's get to the wrap up of thank you, everybody, for tuning in for this spooktacular edition the night before Halloween. We also love puns on this show, if you haven't noticed, though I don't think we had that many today, but we can.
Not today, but usually they're my fault.
No, never a fault. They're awesome. And then our fun transitions as well. But those fluctuate because we bring you that Monday energy, and we're excited to be here to talk to you about anime and anime news and all other geeky stuff. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you watch this live and join in the live chat, and if you're watching it later, awesome. Comment down below. And Kitty, where can people find you online?
You can follow me all over the social medias as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. If you want to hear me and my wonderful roommate talk more about the FNAF movie at length, we will have a video on that channel at some point. We have yet to record it because life is extremely busy, but it's on the docket. I am also a co-host on Silver Screams, which is another YouTube channel I do with my roommate that is horror focused. So if you want all horror all the time, it's all on that channel.
All right. And yes, John Knight in the chat says, have a happy Halloween. Yes, everybody.
Happy
have a safe and happy Halloween.
Yes.
And you all can find me online at Carrie D Lane. That's KARIDLANE across all social media platforms. There's just random stuff popping up there at different times, so be sure to check that out, whatever platform is your preference. And be sure to follow us here on Fanversation. Make sure to give video a thumbs up, subscribe, and where to go? And over here, yes, follow us over on NTATNB. We post more content on there. It's like if we talked about something here, post pictures on there. So check that out. But Fanversation is across is also on Instagram and TikTok as well. So yes, you can check that out. Other interviews and other like Comic-Con, convention coverage, and all that kind of fun, exciting stuff. So yeah.
Before we go completely, have a happy Halloween. Have a safe Halloween. Make sure that you are safe with your consumption, whether it is candy or more controlled substances. Make sure that you get home safely, whether that means not consuming at all and being the designated driver, or calling a Lyft or an Uber or a taxi, depending on what's available in your area. Make sure if you are out walking to go with a group. Make sure you are in familiar neighborhoods or that you stick together. Just, you know, all of your usual safety tips. Just be safe out there.
Yes.
We want you to have a happy Halloween, but we also want you to be home in one piece at the end of it.
Yes. And have a good spooky time.
Happy spooky.
Here goes boo. Yeah. If you want it to be spoopy or spooky, however you want to celebrate, yes, have a fun and safe time. And we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Happy spoopy.